Lincoln 30 to dispatch. Yeah, that's a wild goose chase over here at Nakatomi Plaza. Everything here is okay. Over.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Welcome to the party, pal.
I'm not ready to make. Hello, everybody. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my hair is very floofy today. That's okay. That's okay. I'm wearing my posture corrector because we're gonna get it correct. OMG, guys. OMG. Guys, I feel fully vindicated at this moment. Why? First of all, I have to find the exact moment that Aaron Smith-Levin says this. But as we know, there was let's just start here. Hi, I'm Nora Ames. Welcome to the box office, and this is the Raging Buddha. Yeah, guys, we are wow. You love a floofy do? Okay, good, because it is wild today. Okay. Oh my God, guys. Oh, okay. I am still in shock. About the ruling, but also literally Aaron's like, bruh, I totally #winning. You won one motion, which I personally think is going to tank your case. But we're going to go into all of that. This was wild, guys. This is Aaron's viewpoint is so in outer space right now. But there was really one great part. Okay. I have so many things to go over with you guys. I was trying to get them all together and I ran out of time, but I didn't want to be like, okay, let's go on at 4 p.m. after I've I know what happened today. I also watched Aaron's live because I wanted to see his demeanor, and we're going to watch a little bit of that. Oh, guys, here's the deal. Thank you so much, Austrian Factor. Friday night in Vienna, Austria, with the best streamer. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Appreciate. No, Aaron, guys, I have said this since it happened, okay, that Aaron is his own worst enemy. He is the person who's tanking his case. What, guys, I'm gonna ponder this question to you. What has been the thing that I have said since the moment that this happened? I don't know, thousands of times at this point, because we're talking about since last July that I have been summarily, across the board, people saying that I'm an OSA op, that I'm pro-Scientology, all this bullshit, because I have said this entire time that this case, and I said it yesterday, has nothing to do with Scientology. Somebody else gave me a gift also. Because I can't see it here. It already happened. So let me pull it up. I said it. I said this case has nothing to do with Scientology. And what came out of Aaron Smith-Levin's mouth today? Oh my God. Guys, this is possibly one of the greatest moments of my entire life. I've had a few really good moments. But this is one of the greatest moments of my life. And this is why I say I personally feel vindicated in this moment, because I've been saying that since July, that this has nothing to do with Scientology. And basically the judge said yes. So let's look at what but Aaron said it also. So let's start sharing all the things here, guys. Okay. So this is Aaron's channel, obviously. You guys know that. He's decided to do members only content about me. Holy shit, 86. Thank you for 50 memberships. Jesus Christ on a cracker. Thank you for that. That is incredibly generous. Let me go here. No, I don't want to hear myself. Gross. What else happened here? Oh, Austrian Factor. Oh my goodness. Meredith, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this incredibly, amazing $50 super chat. Thank you for that. I had to go on the YouTube live. Hi, baby boy. Did you want to come in here with me? You're okay. I'm doing my live now, okay? You want to go lie down? You can go lie down. Okay. All right. So Aaron did this live, of course, total clickbait, fucking title here. Nope, we're not going to watch it on his channel. I'm free, no jail time. And of course, now he's no jail. Let's raid the Scientology base that you can't go within 500 feet of. These are so ridiculous, these titles. He still has the stay away order on, can't go within 500 feet. Okay. So we'll just go over his video here, but I've of course got it privated on the Rumble here. So we'll go to this tab, and I just want you guys to hear a little bit of, oh, there we go. All these people are getting memberships. It's like coming in different waves. It's so, YouTube is still broken. Jeez Louise. Yeah. So let's go over it here.
Here would have had you believe was going, nor am I in,
You done messed up.
Nor am I in prison. I am not in custody.
Okay, so let's be perfectly clear. I never said, because Aaron, he's like Tom. Is he Thomas Mew Anderson? Does he actually listen? No, I don't think he does. I don't even know why I'm supposing these things. It's so silly. Okay. What I said yesterday is that the motion that he had for travel, I was personally interested in, because I thought that there was a possibility of him going to jail maybe, or being severely reprimanded, or being held in custody until Tuesday. Thank you, He's a Doll, for this super chat. That's lovely. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. Because he had already admittedly violated his ROR by admitting on a stream that he's already traveled back and forth without permission. Okay, and we're going to get to that motion and what happened later. Okay, but this is supposed to be a celebration for him about his case. But what does he got to talk about? Let's hear. And thank you, Eyes to See. This is also generous. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, I do. I got to get some more.
Any way, shape, or form, as some of the unhinged lunatics on the internet would have had you believe was going to happen today. No, sir. No, sir. What did happen this morning is we had a pre-trial status conference.
Okay, so notice when he's talking about me, just watch the body language, guys. The real Aaron comes out, and then as soon as he's going to do this PR, I don't know if someone had to put him in a cold plunge, or how they got him to calm down after this ruling. He plays this off like it's all pew pew pew, and this is why I'm going to get the transcripts. Okay, this is why. Oh, you don't think the traveling will get him? Yeah, I'm just saying, if you already violate your supervised, being outside, and you didn't ask no permissions to go somewhere, and maybe he did. But if he already went and didn't ask permission, that's bad. If he went and he had permission to go because his lawyers filed something and he went, but I didn't see any motions about that, right? Except for the one that his lawyers filed to let him go back and forth with just, texting it in or whatever he's doing. Okay.
To go over a few different motions that were before the court. One of which, of course, was the state attorney's motion in limine, which is the state asking the judge to agree to certain requests of what can and cannot be said in opening statements, closing statements, during testimony by witnesses, during testimony by myself as a defendant.
Yeah, so basically your whole case. Okay, but look how casual he is about it. This is focused, calm. Can you imagine if he had come on and been like the real him?
All sorts of stuff. So
sure.
There was 3 motions before the court. One
Yes.
was my lawyers asking for judicial notice of a document that was submitted showing the property lines.
And we'll just bring that up here again. Ba-bum. I have all these things pulled up here. No, that's not the one. That's the travel. That's the travel. Okay, here we go. So this is the property line document, okay? And it has this little hyperlink, and he wants to show, he wants everybody to see these property lines. This was accepted. This was accepted by the judge, okay? And let's just see what that means for him, okay? Because I don't think this is good for him. So he wanted to show that they were exactly where they're supposed to be. Here's the property line. I'm going to switch places with this so you guys can see it without the QR code. This is the property line of where he's protesting, okay? Now, Aaron has been on this backside, okay? And you can see here, according to this map, let's get in so close, okay, that their property line goes through, according to this picture, over half of that sidewalk. Oh, it's not showing you guys. Let me make a different view here. And we'll switch these. Okay, there we go. Look at that. That's the backside where he ran up on John Gaffney. Where how he got the protection order. So according to this, now submitted, approved by Aaron's lawyers, this part of the sidewalk is their property. And this teeny sliver of the sidewalk is where you can stand. That's not where Aaron was standing. Oh, thank you, Hell's Fire. Yes, I need to bake more bread. You are correct. Okay, and then let's just go for funsies. Let's go over here. This is Target 1. Okay, and this is where they draw all the nasty cult. Okay, now what is this? That's as far as I can get, guys. Here is where the actual, according to the documents that Aaron made sure were in the court, the property line that he wants to be like, see, we're on the right side. See? Except for, remember, Aaron, when you were standing right here and you picked up the guy's bucket and stole it from him and then put it all the way over here? Remember that? Remember when you followed the guys all the way up to the stairs here? Remember that? Oh, remember when you threw the chalk on John Gaffney right here? You remember that? What side of the property line is that on? Idiota! Like, what a fucking idiot. He is now, via his lawyers, said, this is the property line. Oh, this is the property line. This is where I get to stand. Sir, the battery took place right here. You saying, let's get ready to party, baby, was already over the property line. Already over the property line, sir. Where you were swaying, let's get ready to party. No, everybody thought that because Aaron was drawing it in the chalk. I think we're going to find out from the videos that a lot of the chalk and a lot of Aaron's forward motion and standing and Jamie's and Cheryl's, actually, I think Cheryl just stayed back here, was over the property line that Aaron wanted to make sure was legally in the court. I want a motion. Now he explains later that the DA was like, do we have to do that? And he was like, his lawyers were like, oh, no. We want to make sure that you guys know where the property line is that we're talking about. Okay, dumbass. Like, this just shows me that his lawyers have not been shown this video. And if they have, they've seen like a close-up type portion that just shows the throwing, right? And they are estimations. Thank you, Elron Hoyembe. Yes. But Aaron submitted this and got it approved as his evidence, okay? that's the property line. I know they can't own the pavement, but that's what it shows. And this is the document that Aaron wanted in. There was no caveats like, hey, the sidewalk part is actually not theirs, because sidewalk. Nope. So in Aaron's case, not legally in the fucking city of Clearwater, but in Aaron's case, this is where he wants to show that he wasn't over the property line. Sir, you are over the property line for the majority of that protest on that particular day. Are you fucking kidding me? And then afterwards, you don't give a fuck until you get the stay away order. Thank you, Dilly, for becoming a member. That's so nice. Thank you for that. Yeah. I know, 100 memberships. Holy cow. Well, some of the people are just lurkers and they don't always tune in when I'm talking. They come in the replay, and that's okay. That's okay. But this is the first thing that he's braggadocious about, and he thinks is like a totally a big W for him. Okay, which I don't understand his thinking. Anyway, let's carry on here. Let's go back here.
Of the superpower building on the flag land base. The state attorney objected to that motion. The judge ruled in our favor on that because my lawyers argued that they want to make sure there is absolutely no chance that the state or any of the witnesses for the state are going to give the impression that me and my fellow protester friends are not where we are supposed to be while we are protesting. So that was
Did he not look at that? Did he not look at that? And go, oh fuck, I'm over that. Because guys, let's open it up. Where's my chalk incident? Here we go. Yep. Okay. We're going to go here. Let's just remember. Where's that? Where's the tip? Here's the mountain, right?
Future protest.
Okay, so he moved his water barriers. Already they're facing the wrong way. Okay, let's go back to the drawing. Okay, I wish I could. Can I flip this up, reverse it? I don't think I can. Not on this website. Okay, so the property line goes through the bottom corner of the mountain all the way straight across, like as if, it's perpendicular. It's a right angle, okay, to the tip of this. All right. And if we go back here, so it's right there. You see that little right there, straight out from there to behind where he's standing and across. Okay. So the property line is well before where the incident took place, right?
Sisters of America.
Splashing.
Oh, okay.
Especially if they have
the holy powder.
They have to come all the way over here to get into our space where we're doing
Look at how happy she is about it.
our artwork. You might get messy.
They might.
Yeah.
They might get some good old holy powder.
Based on the defendant's actions during the battery. You see him? Here we go.
Okay. So now the first line of chalk, okay, I have to somehow, nope, that didn't help.
Let's get ready to party.
So you see where he has it drawn? He actually drew the property line correctly right there with the chalk. Okay, so here's the tip. He did the property line correctly in his chalk. But then what does he do? Here we go.
Baby, let's get ready to party.
And
Jamie.
On their property, right there. Before it even happens, it's not like Aaron can't see that fucking line of chalk that he just put down. But he's crossing over it anyway. He's literally crossing over the physical, version of the imaginary property line and filmed himself crossing over it.
Let's get ready to party, baby.
And he goes,
come on, bring it.
Look at that saggy diaper, man. It is awful. That is if you're outside and you sweat a lot, like you got to get some better fitting stuff or spray your body down with that anti-sweat stuff or something.
Bring it. Bring it.
Okay. So now it washes away the imaginary line. And where does he go? Does he go backwards to be like, oh no, he looks down. So he can clearly see at this point that he's on their property. There's no getting around that. He looks down to look at the water and he can see with his human eyeballs that he is on their property. But what does he do next?
Gonna hit our water barrier, you losers.
Goes further. Oh, and is that him walking towards John Gaffney? Now they're both walking kind of towards each other here.
There you go.
And 1 and 2. Because he realized the first one went too far down. It didn't get him. So he did it again.
Come on, bring it back. Come on back.
Then he went right back up to him.
Baby.
Taunting.
What? Did you want some more? Come on. We can
Taunting.
play. Did you want some more, buddy? Come on, let's go. We can play. We can play. Let's go. Based on
And then it's also based on his actions after.
on the defendant's actions after the battery by that wasn't but a tiny portion of the chalk that's in this bag. If they want to come,
You guys can clearly see right there that the majority of the chalk that was in that bag prior to him throwing it. Look at that, guys. You can see how much chalk is left in the bag. Let's go back to before he throws it and when he shows Cheryl. Okay. Now, when he shows Cheryl, it's also prior to him putting that chalk line down, but you see how big that is. Okay. And then we can see right here. Oh, let's go back and just watch here.
No holy panel.
based on the defendant's actions during the battery. You see him? Here we go.
Okay.
Let's get ready to party, baby.
Right there. There's at least twice as much that is ended up on John Gaffney right there.
Let's get ready to party.
You see? This is again, this is not me, guys. This is Aaron. He had his lawyers make a formal request in a motion that was approved by the judge to delineate this as the property line in question so that the Scientologists couldn't say that he was on their property line. I'm sorry, what? Literally, how dumb are you? How dumb? This is one of the most buffoon moves I have ever seen. And if the DA doesn't use this, then that's their loss. I mean, this is like a slam dunk right here. Okay, so just to clarify with your lawyers, you guys want us to use this property map. This is the one, this image. This is the property line in question. Okay, I would just have this shit up huge and then just like stills of where Aaron is there. And the argument will be, well, the police told him he could go up to the stairs. Well, you are claiming that you were where you were supposed to be according to the property line. Looks like you're not. I mean, it's like, are you joking? You can't have it both ways. You can't submit this property line, okay? Then you would call the fucking officer who told you could go up to the stairs. That's the evidence that you need, okay? Whoever the officer was, it was like, guys, I'm not going to keep coming out here for the protest. As long as they don't come on the stairs, we're good. And if that officer came to testify, say, yeah, I did say that, obviously incorrect, that's their property, my bad, whatever. But that's not what Aaron did. That's what I would have done. But this is like, are you, Aaron? And I love everybody in his chat. She's so stupid. She doesn't understand. She doesn't have an IQ. No, I have human eyes with which I wear prescription glasses to make sure that I see things accurately. And I can clearly see that Aaron's on their property. Good God. Yeah, for the second case, exactly. For the second case, he's like, the door's the property line. That's what it shows in the image. That case is beyond a slam dunk. That case, he is cooked. So, yeah. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back here.
Small issue ruled in our favor.
It was an issue, but it was in our favor. So Aaron truly believes that what they submitted online is this. The above link is provided to satisfy this statute and directly correlates with an exhibit listed on February 22nd, 2026 and produced to the state of Florida via email simultaneously with this filing. So Aaron is stating that he didn't ever go on their property. That's part of his defense. Oh, is Aaron protesting in the rain? Is his pizza going to get all wet? Oh, no. Oh, no. Is he even outside? Because you know how he doesn't like to do things that are difficult. Is he just making everybody else? Did he quit already? I think he quit already. Oh, no. They're out there in the rain. Oh, good. George Massey's there too, guys. The gang's all there. They've got George Massey. They've got Marilyn and her husband. They've got fucking Jenna. They've got who else is coming? Who else are the hits? Oh, of course, Sherrick. Oh my God. All right, let's carry on.
There was my lawyer submitted a request for me to be able to travel to and from Florida to California without having to ask the judge for permission each time. This was taken up last. And it was actually very funny. Like everyone understood that this request is an ongoing request because how do I not get too far into the weeds on this? Well, because there's two charges and there's two trials. So I've been operating under the assumption that even if I'm found not guilty on Tuesday, that I am still going to be on the released on my own recognizance status because I still have a second charge.
So this is how we're going to justify it. He really thinks he wasn't, and it's true. He wasn't arrested. Okay. He wasn't arrested on that charge. Formally, it's listed as a no arrest charge. So yeah. Oh, and April sent 50 memberships. Jeez Louise, you guys. Thank you guys. Oh my God. But yeah, just listen to him explain it.
But after thinking more about this today, and I'm going to consult with my lawyer about it again tomorrow, the second charge, I was never arrested for.
I was never arrested for that. Yet you were, yeah. Yeah, that's, you were in jail already. They didn't have to arrest you. You were in custody. Yeah. Let's pull up. Where's no, not that one. It is this one. Okay. So this was the motion. Let me pull it up here. This is the motion to travel that Aaron is just so needing. Now, what's interesting about this motion, guys, is it appears from his first, members only, the truth about me and Jenna. Me and Jenna are madly in love. Tweet, 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 tweet. All that kind of bullshit. Okay. Yeah. So this is what it says. He's charged with 1 count battery on each of the above referenced cases, which are up here. In addition to his widely followed podcast, Mr. Smith-Levin broadcasts content concerning issues regarding the 5 lawsuits. Sir, it's all the same podcast. He doesn't have multiple podcasts. Again, these lawyers, they don't even understand what he said, but they're trying to make it bigger than it is. Like this whole thing, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry. Like half of this isn't even true. Okay. He broadcasts content concerning issues regarding 5 lawsuits. 2 of the lawsuits are on appeal that are in Los Angeles. Mr. Smith-Levin is required to travel to Los Angeles to review the appellate records on 2 lawsuits. No, he's not. He's required. No, it is necessary to go there because you can't get them electronically unless you show up in person to touch the documents, and then you can scan them or take pictures of them yourself. But they're not going to do that for you. But it is not required because he's not part of the fucking case. And doesn't he have friends in LA? Couldn't his girlfriend, Jenna, go all the way up to Los Angeles and go to the appellate court and take the pictures? Like, come on. As he was informed by the clerk of Los Angeles that this was their policy. No, it's on the website. That implies that that he made an actual phone call to somebody. What are the 5 lawsuits? It's like the Jane Doe suits and the Danny Masterson appeals and Leah's lawsuit. That's what they're making reference to. In addition, and here's the hot tea. Mr. Smith-Levin is also participating in a documentary being filmed in Los Angeles about Danny Masterson. Uh-huh. So what? That sounds like a fucking personal problem. Mr. Smith-Levin's coverage of his Scientologist cases and the filming of the documentary require his occasional presence in Los Angeles. You're in LA, you'll get it. Oh my God, I would love it. Guys, Mr. Smith-Levin is 45 years old and not a flight risk, as these 2 cases are his only criminal charges in his lifetime. That is correct. No one else has ever come forward to press charges against Aaron Smith-Levin, including Jenna Miscavige, who said she was going to after he got into a physical altercation with her in the hotel room. She was going to file charges on that and on him holding her against her will in his fucking home. And she didn't do it. But she told us all about it, which seems kind of ineffectual when you are trying to stop somebody from hurting you. Yeah. Mr. Smith-Levin requests permission to notify pretrial services, blah, 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 and go. Okay. So this motion, well, I'll let Aaron tell you guys, because, he gets very upset when you don't. He's been so oppressed, guys. He's just been so oppressed that, he really, really wants to make sure that you guys hear things out of his mouth and not my unhinged lunatic mouth, as he calls it.
So technically, there's nothing for me to be released on. Right? So my second charge was a non-arrestable charge. So I'm not out on bail or bond or recognizance on the second charge. I'm only out on ROR on the first charge. Anyway, long story short, this request probably wasn't necessary, but
because he thinks he's going to be found not guilty.
A lot of time was spent going over the rules of what is and is not going to be allowed to be mentioned about Scientology and my history in Scientology. And we're going to go over those items in a moment. So at the end.
Do you see? Now watch how he's getting weirdly gleeful here. This is not genuine happiness. This is what in Scientology is called the glee of insanity. The glee of insanity is what he is displaying here. Yeah.
And when we took up the motion asking for my permission to travel back and forth without asking permission each time, the judge said, I'm going to reserve ruling on this until after Tuesday. And I'm putting words into her mouth here. But
yeah, that's fine. Don't accurately quote the judge in your case. Just make up stuff.
She essentially said, if the defendant follows my instructions on what he's not allowed to say while he's on the stand, I'll be much more likely to approve this request for travel.
Guys, why would the judge have to say this super funny little it's just so cute, pew pew? Why did the judge have to put that caveat in there? Class, does anyone remember what happened in every single hearing that he was at? Does anybody? I remember. You remember. I have them all up here. I have all 4 transcripts. This one's for you, Eric, but I know you're outside in the rain getting soaked. You're just having so much fun. You guys thought you were going to sunny Clearwater. Welcome to the East Coast and the unpredictability of fucking Clearwater's disgusting weather. Okay. Let's go to the first one. Okay. So this is from the very first hearing. This was a pretrial hearing. This is how long this has been going on. The incident happened on July 29th. The first hearing was on October 17th. So between July 29th and October 17th, a lot of things happened. All right. First, we get the cute stuff between Lee Pearlman and John Gaffney's on the Zooms. Okay. So then we get into the whole what's happening. She's just like, tell me about what happened here. Okay. And then Lee Pearlman forgets what case he's talking about. The state comes in, and this is where she's requesting the stay away order. In the very first hearing, why is she requesting the stay away order, you ask? Because in September is when the door incident happened, and the video of Aaron running up on John Gaffney with the other guy, I can't remember his name, when they were out there. Yeah, Elron, I agree. He is a habitual line stepper. That's why the judge is reserving judgment. Yes. Okay. So then, since filing of the motion, I received a video that occurred on October 9th. Literally, guys, 8 days before this hearing, of the defendant going up to the victim while the victim is on a sidewalk near the property, which was the back end of the other side from where they were protesting that I showed you on the map earlier. Okay. I'm happy to show the video. Then, somebody else had to bring it up. Right. And okay. And so then, because Lee Pearlman hadn't seen it, he's like, oh, we're not seeking contact with the listed victim. We have no objection to that being granted. It's the 500-foot component of him not being allowed to be on public property. I mean, what we see in that video, that action, okay, we're not asking to allow that. It's just simply for him to, be able to pursue his beliefs and his ability to protest an entity that he strongly disagrees with. So that's the main focus. So then the judge says this. This is the first strike. I was looking at Mr. Smith-Levin, who, when the state mentioned that she had that video, and he was adamantly shaking his head no, but yet there's a video showing exactly what the state just said he was doing. So I don't know what your beef is, Mr. Smith-Levin, I guess, with the Church of Scientology, but it is getting a little concerning to me that, yes, everybody has a right to protest. She goes on and on and on. Okay. So I'm going to grant the motion. She made it very clear that she's pro First Amendment. But she says, do what you want to do, but seems to me that you're amping it up for some reason, maybe because you're not getting enough attention. I don't know. And that's when Aaron did his, later he did a video that was like, the judge is, she's clearly in the pocket of Scientology, because she said that, right? So he says, no contact, you are not to stick your phone in his face. This is the first time she talks about sticking phones in faces. Do you understand that? Aaron says, yes. And then, hot dog, can I ask a question? Is that okay? And then Lee Pearlman tries to be like, bro, shut the fuck up. However you say that in lawyerese. Shut the fuck up. So then Aaron just keeps talking. Your Honor, even though it says the court here, this is Aaron. The Flag land base, Scientology base downtown, is actually composed of 200 properties. Is the order that I stay 500 feet away from any building? And then she's like, every single one. Okay. You can stand 500 feet away and protest all you want, but you sat here and shook your head. No, that you didn't do what the state was saying that you did do, and I just saw it on the video. So quite frankly, Mr. Smith-Levin, I don't trust that you're going to stay away from him, which means that you are to stay 500 feet away. So this whole travel thing and the caveat that Aaron says that the judge put on it, This is just the first instance, guys. Hang on. We're not even done with this transcript. Okay? Because why would a judge have to be like, you know what? I'm going to just hang on to that one. I'm going to hang on to that one. Because, yeah, we'll see if you can follow directions. So then she does the order. And then Aaron's not happy. Okay. So Aaron does a little sidebar with his lawyer. And now Lee Pearlman says, Your Honor, my client would like me. We're not in any way challenging the outcome of the ruling at this time. He just wants you to be aware that he doesn't really know the identity of the listed victim. Except for at this time, and I have to look at it. I don't know if that's, well, he said his name like so many times when he read the police report, but then I have to look and see when he put out the security video identifying John Gaffney. Actually, I can look for that right now. Because that might not be accurate. When did that come out? John. I have to spell it the way that it's spelled in the subtitles. Sort by new to old. No. So that video where he makes this is illegal, people wearing masks, this is his first, like, guess what? I'm gonna fucking blow this wide open. These security guards are wearing masks. He names John Gaffney and that's on October 27th. So that's 10 days after this that he fully identifies him to the world and then asks for everybody else to do it. So it was after this. Okay. That was an individual he was recording based on his interactions and what he's doing with his online protests. So no, his protests are in person. He just broadcasts them for profit. Again. So it wasn't intentional contact with the listed victim. It was just part of what he was doing at this point. Your ruling stands and we're not challenging that. And she says, I get that, but that just kind of goes with the concern of my behavior with him is that he has a right to protest. Absolutely 100%. God bless America. I don't have any problem with that. Okay, that's your right as an American citizen. But your whole thing of, and if I remember, there was a video, a phone, you're up there trying to put your phone in people's faces, so she's seen even other videos already. Okay, so that you can have content or whatever on social media thing you have. All right, now you're taking this a step further than your right to protest under the Constitution. Okay. You're now just trying to make some fun out of your social media, which he declares all the time. We're having fun. We're out here having pizza. It's a good hang. Hey, everybody, come get some donuts and pizza and talk to Tom Cruise. Okay? Right? She says, be careful what you're doing because you've gone beyond that now. And whether you believed it was the gentleman or somebody else, you're still just now starting to get to the point where maybe, and I don't know, because I don't know all the facts, I'm just taking what I'm seeing right now, that maybe you're starting to harass people who actually work there as opposed to your constitutional right to protest. Okay? So don't walk over that line of your right to protest versus you then now starting to commit crimes against people, whether it's harassing, whether it's a battery, whatever it is, because if you're doing it just for social content, then your whole free speech protest, yada, yada, just kind of going out the door. Understand? And he says yes. And then she gets upset because the form is wrong. And then, and she reminds him again, you protest all you want. You have a constitutional right to do that, but don't step over the line. He says, yes, ma'am. Then he went on to, after this, remember when he was like, and they're trying to strip me of my First Amendment. Like, no, she fucking said that like 10 times in here. So then they wanted to do, Okay, and then this is just all about cost. So let me get rid of that one. Let me get rid of that one. And let's go to the November 13th one. Okay. So in the next one, the next time he's in court, November 13th. Okay. So the DA, the deputy DA, or the deputy state's attorney, okay, she lays out the charges, okay, and then she says this defendant subsequently picked up an additional charge of battery against a different victim. However, it should be noted that this individual was also part of the Church of Scientology. This instance took place on September 20th. This is before the last hearing at 2:36 p.m. and at the bank building. Okay. We also did speak with the victim, and he's here. Okay. It's the state's opinion that clearly this is not stopping if there's been multiple victims, both part of the Church of Scientology and its similar instances, including this protesting, but going beyond what is peaceful protesting, resulting in charges of battery. And then so Lee Pearlman comes in, says, like, the new allegation, we have a video. And then he presents Aaron's video. Okay. So they all watch Aaron's video and we go through it, and it's Aaron's little, and he says, Pat, I knew you'd come and ask, I could come here and ask for help, blah, 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 blah. And he's trying to pretend like he gives a shit about Claudio and, Renata. And then the judge watches it a total of 3 times, and including the whole point where he's like, ow, you just committed battery on me. Okay. Watches it 3 times through. So that's all in the transcript. Okay. The victim is also present. She's like, oh, wait, hang on. I'm watching it again. Okay. So that would do it again. Who's Andrew? So then Andrew comes up and he talks, and then there's a whole thing about the video, but Andrew has the video, of course. So now everybody goes up to watch the video. She watches it 1 time because it's a silent video, closed circuit television, where you can clearly see what Aaron did. She says, I don't need to see anymore. 1 time. Anything else you want to add, Mr. Pearlman? Yes, Your Honor addressed at the prior court hearing further conditions to not have any violations or contact with some of the listed victims, which my client has been doing it. So this is where the timeline gets weird, right? Because you have July for the original incident. Let me put that over here. That's July. Then you have this next incident in September, okay? But the first hearing was over here in October. So now we're traveling back in time to talk about an incident that happened before the first hearing where he got slammed with the thing, the 500-foot stay away, okay? So here's Pearlman trying to scramble, okay? He's doing very well with the court's orders and the conditions as laid out. Now, technically, yes. Technically, no. Was Aaron standing in front of the flag building? No. Was he doing his protest at Target 2? Yes. Was he still driving by their properties on his way to and from his house because he's so fucking lazy he didn't find a route around all that shit? Yes. Is that a possible violation of the 500-foot stay away order? Possibly. So that's why I say yes and no. The objective here is allowing him to remain out of custody without any prior record. This is their whole case. Up until just that time, Your Honor, he's just squeaky clean. He just is a good boy. He's just a precious boy, Stuart. Stuart, stop it. Stop it, Stuart. So the judge says, all right, well, I also made a comment to Mr. Smith-Levin last time he was here, and I said, I respect his right to peacefully protest. He's allowed to do that. But the problem is, and I've mentioned this the last time, when he was sticking his phone in somebody's face, which turned out to be the same victim of the original battery, he's starting to escalate. And she didn't know about this other incident. She might have just been, you're straight to jail till we do the trial, Like, because clearly, and if she had been shown more stuff, I think she would have been like, no, this man is staying in jail until we go to trial because I don't trust him. I have zero trust. Look at all these things. Are you joking? No trust. Okay. And escalating with his face, it seems to me he really now is just interested in content on his videos or whatever it is that he's doing. It was evident when he, number one, the allegations here on this case, and they're only allegations at this point, from what I know, is now he's doing chalk work on their sidewalk around there. So now, and Mr. Perlman can't not interrupt either. He's like, well, they've been doing that for a year. And she's like, it is what it is. You can protest all you want. Yeah. But you don't get to start messing up people's property and that type of stuff. So I don't know where this occurred, but I'm assuming it's somewhere near there. Then we get the situation of him going up and approaching security and sticking his phone in their faces. And now we've got him. You can see he's deliberately walking down that sidewalk. Now listen to the judge's description of the video. You can see he's deliberately walking down that sidewalk, looking for an issue just by the way he's walking. He starts walking by the door. He sees that it opens. He's like, oh, okay, great. And he sticks his head in there, and he's clearly holding the door open with his foot, and they're trying to close the door. And he's trespassing. I'm surprised that he doesn't have a trespass against him. And then he clearly shoves this second person. He may be making all kinds of noise on his video, how he got battered, but I just saw the video and I didn't have to watch that one 3 times. So I have concerns. Mr. Smith-Levin has escalated, and he's continued to escalate. He got in trouble for the first case, but yet he can't seem to stop, right? So she's correct in her timeline. He's arrested on July 29th on an alleged battery. Did he stop that kind of behavior? Absolutely fucking not. Okay. So I'm going to revoke his bond, and I'm going to issue a 0 bond, and we'll go from there. Your Honor, my client would like to just speak briefly to the court. I've advised him not to, but I think that's something he would like, Your Honor, to hear. She says, that's fine. Here's Aaron's big speech. Your Honor, the incident that occurred on September 17th, I haven't prepared any statements, so I'm speaking off the cuff, Your Honor. I have absolutely 0 criminal history whatsoever. I have absolutely 0 intention of continuing in any of this escalatory behavior. Aaron, what did you do the first week you were protesting when you got out of jail, hon? You ran right up to the old man, put your phone right in his face. Then the next week, what did you do? You bolted across the street, put your phone in Mateo's face repeatedly, screamed at him for almost 10 minutes. This last incident with Andrew Shape was on September 17th. That was before my last appearance before Your Honor. I have absolutely been on my best behavior. There has been 0 other incidents since September 17th. Now, this is in November 13th. So this is after he put out the hey, I want everybody to tell me who these security guards are, thing and all that stuff. Okay. And that's not even being brought up here today. And all of the other, shit that had gone on. Okay. And here we go. As a child trafficking victim of Scientology, it's been my life's work to advocate for victims of Scientology. Do you guys remember the video that I showed yesterday? Do you guys remember that? Where he was like, as a child, actually, it was freaking awesome. It was freaking awesome. I do that with my channel and with my foundation. I totally understand that there's been a line that I have, at the very least, come dangerously close to, if not past. I hope to resolve these issues at trial. There's absolutely no chance of me repeating this type of behavior that has caused these legal problems. Except you absolutely repeated it twice. You have not learned at all. I am just, guys, I so wish I could be there on Tuesday just to see the additional evidence of Aaron's violations after the judge's fucking instructions from December 5th. If they don't show that, I don't know what they're doing with their life. Plus, because Mateo is going to be a fucking witness, of course they're going to show the Mateo video, and I hope his body cam footage comes in, because if we get to see the Mateo POV, cooked. There's absolutely no chance of me repeating. Yeah, I'm the sole provider for a family of 5. Sir, you have to pick a lane. You are either the sole provider for a family of 5, a dedicated, loving husband, blah 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 blah, or you're a sole provider for a family of 5, and also I need money to fly my girlfriend and to fly out to California for my. I'm going to start using, instead of the word mistress, somebody suggested this, paramour. That's a French word, right? Paramour. It's classier. I like it. For my paramour who lives in Santiago. Yeah, let's be totally honest with the court. Aaron. Jenna Miscavige is not your wife. Is she coming? Is Heather going to make an appearance? I would not want to sit next to his paramour in court. Like, listen, my ex-husband and I had an amicable divorce. He is remarried. I got married before he did. It just took him longer to do the wedding they wanted. Anyway, so he's remarried. I'm remarried. We went on a whole, me, my wife, all 4 of our combined kids, our ex-husbands, and their, significant others. We all went to Legoland together. It was 6 parents and 4 kids. The 10 of us looked like some sort of like polyamorous Mormon fucking who knows what, but we had a great time. But I can promise you that I'm not going to go, it's just like, it's so weird. Like, I don't have problems doing stuff like that. Like, that's family stuff. But in this situation, it is just so fucking weird. Oh, God. Yeah. I don't know. Sorry. I was reading sorry, mods. I got sucked into the mod chat. So then he says, and yet this incident was September 17th. And since then, especially since your protection order, there has been absolutely 0 incidents. And I haven't even tried to find a line that I can get close to. So I want to acknowledge my responsibility in everything that has occurred and just implore the court to simply allow me to remain out on bond, or perhaps increase the bond and just allow me the chance to resolve this at trial. That is my request. And she's like, I am revoking your bond. Okay. Mr. Smith-Levin, your attorney can come forward in a week or 2 and ask me to reconsider the bond. But Mr. Smith-Levin, it shouldn't take me lecturing you after you've already gotten 1 criminal charge to stop overstepping your bounds. Like, guys, normal people, okay? And I was talking to, I think, my wife or somebody today about this. If I go out and I go protest ICE here in Portland, okay, and I get arrested in the process of protesting ICE because I just happen to be existing while saying no thank you to fascism in my city, I whatever. What are they arresting me on? Okay, I mean, I'll fight the charges. But if I were protesting Scientology, and let's say James Richardson came out, okay? Like, let's say I'm at Celebrity Center and James Richardson came out and he just started laying into me, just fucking saying all kinds of shit, right? And I lost my shit. And I have a glass of water in my hand and I throw it on James Richardson. Guess what? I just committed battery. And the last thing that you would see me do is try to come on here and make videos about James Richardson and how evil he is and what a fucking pedo he is and XYZ, I would shut the fuck up. I would start posting like fucking nature videos and shit. Okay, with like no talking. If I still needed to create content, I would have pivoted so fucking hard to anything other than the protesting. Nope. That's the point that she's making. It's like you were arrested for battery, but you changed no behavior after that. And we all saw that. It's all in his videos, right? I apologize, guys. I'm very, very stuffy still. Like literally, you have to use your brains. Whether you think the charge is bogus, whether your claim is this is the Church of Scientology influencing the district attorney's office, the state's attorney's office, they're in bed with them. How many times did we hear Aaron say that? How many times? How many times did we hear it out of Aaron, out of Reddit, out of fucking everywhere? No. It has nothing to do with that. All right, anyway. So then we go, and then Aaron keeps interrupting. And she says, you're not going to convince me of anything else. And then they're going to file it. And then Then he has to come back out because they have to set the pretrial. And then that's it. Okay. Let's go to the next one. So the next one is, of course, the 21st, when Aaron was still in jail. Okay. And we're seeing if he's going to get out. We're seeing if he's going to get out. All right. So he comes up. Obviously, we had a pretty extensive hearing last time, and we are hoping, this is Aaron's entire defense, guys. We're hoping, given the lack of any prior record, I hesitate to use the word lesson, but the point Your Honor was attempting to make, I think we believe, and I've had communication with my client's family, meaning Jenna, who legally, not his family. A paramour, guys, is not family. They have no rights. They have no, unless Aaron gave her power of attorney, which he didn't do, she has nothing. She's not in charge. Oh, thank you, Georgia. Thank you for being a member for 12 months, a whole year. Thank you. Right? So that's a lie, because the very first time anybody has a record of Heather communicating is on December 5th. That was her first appearance in court. So was he talking to Heather? Because the question she asks is like, well, what is legal protesting? Clearly, that indicates to me she hasn't been talking with him. So did Jenna present herself as his girlfriend? And she's the one in charge? Like, Heather doesn't go on the internets. Like, technically, I mean, I don't know what the legal ramifications of that are. Like Heather has rights. She's his legal spouse. She should be the one being the intermediate for her husband's fucking case. Right? But instead, it's his paramour. Okay? And my client, at great extent, and then remember when Aaron claims he's only talked to him for 15 minutes? Hang on. As far as what's to be expected of him and what's not appropriate or acceptable in any way, especially to the court. But just from a day in, day out perspective of life, my client has very strong feelings about, obviously, the entity that he's protesting against. But at the same time, he understands that there are lines, and they are there for a reason, and everyone is entitled to the protection of law. And then somebody had their phone out. And then, hot dog. I've been in constant contact with the victim in this case, as well as the victim in both of the battery cases. During the motion to revoke bond, the main basis was that the new law violation as well as the video that was presented in court that day, I was made aware at that time there were additional concerns coming from both victims. As the court is aware, this defendant has a YouTube channel, which he posts consistently on, specifically targeting the Church of Scientology, as well as specifically addressing the victims, in which the state's view would potentially be rising to a violation of the no contact order. And there are specific instances, and I would specifically like to point out the fact that the argument that was made during the motion to revoke bond was that there have been 0 incidents since September 20th. However, I've been provided an entire packet with specific references to instances in which the victim felt that this defendant was specifically targeting him in these YouTube videos. Okay, we're talking about John Gaffney, as well as specifically contacting him or making reference to him by name. Just for example, I want to pick the one that stands out to me. On October 28th, a YouTube video was posted. In this video, the defendant identified Mr. Gaffney by name, as well as presented a photograph, and he requested his followers to encounter church security personnel and photograph them or video them and send him the footage that is obtained. And Your Honor, that's just one example of several others in this packet that I have here. And the state's main concern here, as well as I believe the court's concern, is the rising level of this defendant's behavior. And at this point, he's inciting others to get involved. And so, although potentially this defendant is staying away, he is inciting others to participate, and that is the state's concern, especially with the fact that there's not only one victim in this case, there are 2. And in both cases, there's a different victim in each case. And clearly, this is targeted towards this church in particular. And then what does the judge say? She says, I'm pretty certain I said in my no contact order that he's not to have any other third parties have contact with the victims in this case. Well, I don't think he's asking to have contact with them in a communicative or interaction way. It's more to document things. Good Lord, I can't breathe today. And then he and Aaron talk. He says his approach on that wasn't about direct contact at all towards the listed victim. And then the judge interrupts him. That's exactly what I heard from what the state just said. I mean, that's the exact message I received from the state, what he is saying. And so then we get the masks. Okay. It's saying the security guards were wearing masks. And his point was to identify who they were based on their actions. The newer allegation that Your Honor saw in its own entity, the original involving the powder of the aspect of it, was a back and forth between security and the protesters. This is the other major hole here that Aaron's going to go over in a second. So it's the point Your Honor has made, and I think it's exactly on point, which is the escalation and trying to prevent further contact between listed victims in this situation. I don't think it was intentional. And then the state's attorney would like to chime in. She's entered the chat. Just a specific quote from the video. Now, anyone who interacts or comes across any Scientology organization security guard in downtown Clearwater, whether you're a protester or not, ex-Scientologist or not, I don't care. If you come into contact with one of these security guards, please feel free to take a photo, take a video, and send it to me. Hot dog, Aaron. He's asking others, and then she says, you need to stop talking, Mr. Smith-Levin, because I can honestly tell you 100% you are not helping yourself. And quite frankly, every time your poor attorney comes into this courtroom, he gets whacked with something new he didn't know about. It's happened every time we've been in this courtroom. It's only 2 times, guys. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. That's very sweet, honey. You don't have to send me a super chat, but thank you for that. I appreciate you. Because what you're presenting to him and what he's finding out bit by bit apparently every time he comes into this courtroom for an issue that you've done is that it's really not what you're representing. So your credibility with me right now is not that great. You're not helping yourself. You are escalating, which I have said already now twice, and this is my third time. And after we've had that no contact order where I specifically told you you're to have no third parties have contact. And you are now asking your YouTube channel to have other people do exactly what I told you couldn't do. That's why I'm saying when she finds out that not only did she basically write a script for Aaron, that he did those exact things that she said, I don't want to see any of that. It is literally, I mean, he's cooked. He is, put a fork in him. He's cooked. Okay. So you're trying to skirt everything that I tell you to do, Mr. Smith-Levin. You're not getting the message. Your hatred for the Scientology is going to land yourself in jail for a very long time if you do not stop your behavior. You have escalated. It's now all about your YouTube channel. It didn't take me but 2 seconds to see in the first video where you're shoving your phone into somebody's face. You're not the first person that I have that wants to, gets posts off a YouTube channel by shoving your phone into people's faces to make it look good, all right? And you got one lady who's sitting over there in jail for a year and a half because she was feeding her YouTube channel with a bunch of nonsense. And you're on that same path because you are not getting the message. I specifically gave you that no contact order on October 17th, and I'm hearing that you're doing this on October 30th. And she says, can I reply? Please. And she says, reply at your own risk. If a judge said to me, reply at your own risk, I would be like, never mind. You finish. I'm sorry I interrupted. Like, what? Please. The no contact order was for Mr. Gaffney, Your Honor. The video, and I had quite literally, I'm not exaggerating, ma'am, nothing to do with Mr. Gaffney except for you saying his name, putting a picture of him up. Totally nothing. It has nothing to do with the person you showed a picture of and put his name under the fucking picture. Absolutely nothing to do with him. What I showed was all of the Scientology security guards who interact with the protesters, cover their face with protective masks. I have some sources who used to work in that security force that were helping us identify the people who were hiding their identities. Being incognito in public isn't against the law. And if your company requires you to wear a mask as a security guard, that's part of your uniform. And it's a way to get around the loophole of the law. Mr. Gaffney had already identified himself to the court. Prior to that, I had no idea who he was. My video asked people to get photos or videos of other. I specified other security guards who were covering their faces so that we could have a complete list of their identities, Your Honor. It was not to violate or to be cute with the protection order, in any way. She doesn't even acknowledge the words that he said. She doesn't say like, all right, thank you. I heard you. She just turns to the state's attorney. Anything else? Miss me? She says, yes, Your Honor. I would just further emphasize, and this is very key, guys, the fact that this is now the scope of the crime has widened. The scope is widened. We've gone beyond one individual. There was a second individual, and this defendant just admitted right there that he's willing to go beyond that. It's the fact that this is all focused on the Church of Scientology. Do you want me to come forward with another victim next? Like, that's where this is arising to, and that's the state's concern. Like, that's why the state wants him held in custody at this time. The judge says, you told me, Mr. Smith-Levin, last time you were here, when you were about ready to go to jail, how this occurred before, and that the motion for no contact, that you learned your lesson and you were behaving yourself much better. and that you had heard me loud and clear. And from what I'm hearing right now is you really didn't hear me loud and clear. Is that you really are just doing everything you can to skirt that, the no contact order. You've gone from your picketing and your right to protest, trying to get from the right to protest to now targeting people, trying to get content for your YouTube channel. And you've escalated the situation. And so you really haven't gotten the message, Mr. Smith-Levin, in regards to you go out there, you can have your protest signs and do all you want. Now you're trying to target people. You're trying, what is that, what they call it? And they put out doxing. Aaron answers that. Doxing, Your Honor. Which it seems to me you're trying to stir up problems for other security guards that you know you can't do so now, so you're trying to get other people to do it. I don't really think you should talk anymore, Mr. Smith-Levin. Aaron was trying to like raise his hand or some shit. So then Mr. Perlman's like, we've talked about this. His channel's been around for a long time. And he's seeing the light. In all the conversations I've had, guys, I'm telling you, he's a changed man. And then she's like, but he shoved the other guy after that. He's like, well, he did. And on his own, walking past the door, he saw the opportunity and started shoving his phone in everybody's faces. So he has on his own taken the step of escalating on the situation. And then I don't take it lightly, Mr. Smith-Levin, when I order somebody not to do something, and then you go and just try to toe the line, and that's actually what you did. Nope. Can I say one more thing, ma'am? No. And then he does it again. Can I say one more thing, ma'am? Can I please? Correct or not, I want to say the research that I did indicated that for a licensed security guard in the state of Florida, it was actually a violation of the state law to cover your face to protect your identity while carrying out your duties. She's like, you know what? Then call the police and tell them they're violating the state law. I did. No. Stop. You're not helping yourself, Mr. Smith-Levin. If you think it's such a big violation of state law, then you call the police and you let them investigate it. Not sit there on your YouTube channel and just try to stir problems. And that's where you are. I do think he understands, blah, 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 blah. I was going to ask for a GPS monitor and get him in for a mental health evaluation. And then I do have a game plan, but he keeps getting whacked in the head. No. And then Lee's like sticking up for his client. He's doing a good job advocating for his client here. He's like, no, he's just, he's just a protester. And then they go back and forth about the timeline. And I believe he's a different person before you. He's never been in trouble before. And I think this is and then Aaron interrupts. I've never been arrested before. The judge is like, well, I don't see a different person. I just see a person just trying to give excuses for his behavior. So really, I don't see a different person. And then now they're just scheduling things. And then they go over and then she introduces the video from jail. The most recent note that has been provided to me is dated November 15th. He was in jail from November 11th, at which time the defendant turned over his social media accounts to his friends who posted material proclaiming he is falsely accused. And this means war. We are doubling down. So like saying this means war is a reference to the Key and Peele sketch, and then adding we're doubling down negates that argument. That wasn't him. That wasn't him posting it, Your Honor. He didn't do that. Yeah, but his YouTube channel was turned over to his friends, and now we're doubling down. He can't control them. He doesn't have control. He can control his own YouTube. And why he turned it over to them, I don't know. I'd be interested in hear what the phone records are reflecting from the jail. Inquiring minds would like to know. Thank you all for being in the chat. Please smash that like, subscribe. My mindset when I came in here today was to put him on GPS and supervised ROR. I'm not sure. I think I'm not there yet. Based on what I'm hearing and what got him in jail. And now we've basically doing exactly what I just said. He's asking others to do his bidding that I told him he couldn't do. And so now they're using the fact that he's gotten himself into more trouble and he's created more problems to use it as a calling card to get other people to do stuff. And I do have concerns. So today, I'm going to deny the motion to set bond, and I'll do it without prejudice, okay? And then Lee Perlman's like, I appreciate the without prejudice, which means that he can bring the motion again, which he did on December 5th. Then she says, Mr. Smith-Levin, you got yourself into this situation and you can't seem to bring it down. Even after my lecture to you on the 17th, pointing out what I was seeing happening as of October, you then have all of this that you're doing on the YouTube, basically asking people to do what I told you you couldn't do. And then I put you in jail. And you turn over your YouTube channel 2 days later and have everybody doing what you can't do. Then he yells out, it's the only way I make money, Your Honor, is my channel. It's my channel. Stuart. I'm Stuart. Well, you know what? That's exactly it. He's tanking himself. That was the dumbest thing to shout out. And I know that's the way you're making your money. I'm sitting here listening to your lawyer saying that you want to get home to your family and kids. And I'm sitting here thinking, what does this guy do for a living? Why is he sitting there protesting? Then I'm like, oh, he's doing a living. He's making money off his YouTube channel, attacking the Church of Scientology. So I'm a child trafficking victim of the Church of Scientology. Second time he puts that in there. What does she say to that? What does she say to the big, I'm a child trafficking victim? Which has nothing to do with the price of fish in China. Okay, Mr. Smith-Levin, you're not helping yourself. Okay. You may be a victim of the trafficking or whatever it is. She doesn't even say, no, you're not. She says that could be possible. But you've gotten yourself so ingrained in this that you are escalating, and I'm not going to have somebody killed on my watch. So then Perlman and Aaron go in. There's a little conference kind of room on the other side of the jury that you can go into, a little private room. So they go back there. And so then she does the whole order, the bailiff, and then there was the whole kerfluffle with the guy with the phone. And then they come back. When they come back, the first thing out of Lee Perlman's mouth is, I don't know if my client would like me to continue representing him. Could it be that Aaron was yelling at his lawyer? Could it be that the real Aaron, that we saw in the video that takes great joy in verbally assaulting people without being physically menacing, showed up? I think he believes I'm not doing a sufficient job for him and that there are concerns about my representation. So at this point, if he wants me to withdraw, I just need him to lay it on the record and he can seek different counsel. And the judge is like, okay, follow your motion. Sounds good to me. And then she says, Mr. Smith-Levin, you've got one of the best attorneys in Pinellas County. So you choose to have him withdraw. That's your choice. Good luck. And then he's like, I didn't ask him to withdraw, Your Honor. Can you imagine that moment in court? And Mr. Perlman's like, okay. So if you want me to continue to represent you, I didn't ask you to withdraw. Okay. All right. It felt different, but that's fine. I'll file the motion accordingly if it's appropriate. Well, now, here we go. This is a total outburst in the middle of court. Well, the last 3 months, I've had 15 minutes of consultation with you, and I have issue with that. I didn't ask for you to withdraw. Why were you only talking to your lawyer for 15 minutes, Aaron? Could it be because you spent all day sleeping in and soaking up your ramen noodles that all your fans were buying you while Jenna was frantically trying to get a defense going? Who hired the lawyer, Aaron? Was it your wife? No, it was your paramour. Paramour. That's a French word, like sucre bru. You know, zutalo, paramour. And then she's like, "You guys figure it out. This is not for me. Like, this has nothing to do with me." And then he's like, all the stuff. And then the guy with the photos gets his ass handed to him by the bailiff. Okay. Then, can we go back to the video now? Let's just do the December 5th one real quick. So that's on the 21st. Aaron has to stay in jail. Oh, sad panda. Sad panda. I'm a sad panda. Okay. So this is the December 5th one. Okay. And this is the one where Aaron does get out of jail. Okay. So they're there. They want to talk to it. So this is the first thing the judge says. This is the deal. Oh, she makes the announcement. Like, don't fucking have your phones out in court, y'all. Okay. We're hoping that you'll reconsider. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Lee talked for a long time on that one. Yeah, like, don't skirt the line with the freedom of speech. She's been very clear. He says what he doesn't have the right to do, she says he has every right to protest. He has every right to say whatever he wants to say. Okay. What he doesn't have a right to do is stick his phone. Oh, it's totally different on your screen than it is on mine. What he doesn't have a right to do is stick his phone in somebody's face and also commit any type of unlawful act. And he doesn't have a right to violate my no contact order. He can say anything he wants to say. That's America. That's freedom of speech. God bless America. That's why I'm here. But I do draw the line when he's trying to skirt my order of no contact. And because what I don't want to have happen is somebody injured or hurt. And the downside of this thing with Mr. Smith-Levin is that the moment somebody smacks that phone out of his or any of his friends' hands, they'll be the first ones yelling and screaming, "Call the police! Call the police! Somebody hit me. They violated my rights. Yada, yada, yada." Just like when he stuck his foot in that door, and then when they were closing the door, he's yelling and screaming, "Oh, you hit me. You hit my foot. You hit my foot." Well, you put your foot there to open the door. So, that's the concern I have, all right? And so let me hear from the state, and I'll figure out where we're going from here. I just want to start out, this is Miss Me. I just want to start out by addressing something that was brought up last time, this defendant, when we addressed the motion to set bond, that was specifically the YouTube video titled, "This Means War." So then, the defendant in a YouTube video where he was calling from jail admitted to having control of the YouTube video title by saying he was the one who said to do that title. So he lied. His lawyer lied in court saying he can't control him. Yet Aaron was the one who said, "Make that the title." So any argument from the defendant saying that he does not have control over the channel is false. I also want to go through a few of the jail calls. As Mr. Perlman mentioned, there are plethora of them. In fact, ASA Lechner sat through and listened to several of them. However, was not even able to make a dent in them. But those of note include from the 21st of November, after the motion hearing, after that last transcript, he repeatedly stated that Judge Hessinger is making prejudicial statements toward the defendant. He said verbatim, "I need people to keep making videos like fucking crazy." Excuse my language. That's a direct quote. I don't care what they are, encourages people to go to the Scientology building, stating continue to encourage people to go there and protest because this is not a violation. He goes on to specifically refer to Your Honor and says, I'm glad everyone was there to hear the attitude, the false statement, and the degradation. She doesn't understand the difference between a video title and content. ASA Lechner watched this video on his own time, and it is clearly stated they are doubling down, and silencing the defendant will only embolden what they are doing. So again, re-emphasizing the fact that we are concerned about this escalating behavior, encouraging further action. On the 22nd of November, a direct quote from a jail call is, it is better if we put this on Scientology and not the state's attorney's office or the judge, at least not until I get out of here. What a fucking idiot. We also received a packet similar to the prior last hearing detailing the contents of YouTube dated 12/2, in which the defendant again did a phone call from jail. And instead of being manipulated, as the defense said multiple times through his video and jail calls, ASA Lechner watched both that video and another live interview. And here are the quotes of note from the November 24th video. It specifically or repeated that the assistant, now she's taking, because he was making fun of her. Assistant State Attorney Morgan Mee is a brand new lawyer and she has no idea what she's doing, that Scientology is playing her like a fiddle, and she cannot even understand that there are two victims who are not even allowed to use the internet. It also states, the defendant also states, that it's hard to recognize security guards when they wear masks, which further emphasizes the concern that posted the video that says this means war can be taken by followers to get close to security guards and find out those identifications. And then finally, on his December 2nd video, this is 3 days, 3 days prior to this hearing, he reiterated the slander of Assistant State Attorney Morgan Mee, also stated the judge isn't a fan of people like me, and stated there has not been a single violation of the restraining order. So overall, it's the state's opinion this defendant has not grasped anything that has happened thus far, will continue to incite others to participate in his endeavors. And Your Honor, quite frankly, I don't think anything has changed since we've started this conversation. So then Lee says, I think the response, Your Honor, my client, where some of this gets taken out of context, he doesn't have to agree or like the orders of the court. He does have to respect that. And she says, I agree 100%. The issue that we have in some of these, phone calls, my client, every one of his YouTubes begins with, now here we're going to go with the Key and Peele sketch. You want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Right? He doesn't say this means war in that sketch, and we're doubling down at all. So again, false. False. Oh, Chud's lawyer. I'm so glad there's trolls in here. When am I going to cover Lindsay's charges? Unlike Aaron Smith Levin, Lindsay has already said she did the charges, she did the crime, and is working with the justice system to sort that out, instead of standing up and lying in front of the court. I mean, it's like she's doing what you're supposed to do. I don't know what your problem with that is. You seem pretty vindictive. Are you a representative from Sephora or Burt's Bees or something? Or like CoverGirl? What the fuck is your problem? Okay. Chud Slayer. Yeah, sure. Sure, Jan. Right. So the content isn't there for violence or escalation of that part, other than to go and protest. And again, his stance on Scientology is just that. You've said exactly, I have no desire to stop him from legally doing blah, 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 blah. And then they get into a back and forth. So this is the first appearance of Jerry, right? I spent a lot of time along with Lee with Mr. Smith-Levin. He understands what the court's ruling has been. Apparently not. Because he's sitting there telling his people, and I don't understand it. Well, I think as content on the hold on, Lee, come on. I can't quite figure out why does Mr. Smith-Levin, and then she's like, never mind. She's just like, she's so fed up at this point. So then Jerry comes in with his slick hair. What we're getting into, and I understand what the court is saying, but I think what we're getting into is, he's using his First Amendment speech, which is fine. I'm all about that. Like, you weren't here the last time when I said like 10 times, which is fine. And I agree with the court. However, we have what is alleged 2 victims in this case, and in each case. What is done with regards to violating anything with them or the 500-foot rule? Nothing. He's got a YouTube channel. I'm not a social media geek. I don't go on the internet. I don't know what the internet is. I'm a lawyer. I don't do that stuff, but everybody's out there doing it these days. Not like that. It's a source of income for him, and it's a source of information. So he's utilizing that. But at the end of the day, we're holding a man in custody on 2 cases. What has he done to violate the court's order? I'm sorry. The judge says, there was definitely a video of him shoving his phone in the face of the first alleged victim in the first case. There's a video right on that. He allegedly didn't know it was the same person, but he did it. So that's what we got him on the first place. What kept him in was the second case where, he went back and stuck his foot in the door of Scientology when he was supposed to not have any contact where the place of employment is of the alleged victim. And he was walking right by Scientology. He happens to see the door, but he has in fact violated the no contact order. And that's what I'm trying to get through this man's head. It does boggle my mind that he would be so naive enough. I already told you, he should know that his phone conversations are getting monitored. He knows it because every time he picked up the phone, they tell him. So he's really doing it because he's trying to get content, and it's all good. Great content to stir up the masses on the anti-Scientology, which is fine, but he's actually making a buck off of being in jail. So the sympathy of that is beyond me because he's doing interviews. He's making a buck. He's saying derogatory things against the state and the judge. People love that. That's fine. He can say that. That's freedom of speech. Absolutely freedom of speech. But the part that you're saying that he didn't violate the no contact order, he very well did, because that's why he's sitting in jail, because I wouldn't have put him in jail. Despite what he says to stir up his masses, is that I know the difference between freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and violating the no contact order. And then I'd have concern if he's released. I would have a concern, and I have no concern if he's released, and I'll tell you why. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you a story, Judge. He's been doing this for a long time, and just recently, it's come to light. He's been arrested, and this is somebody who's never been in jail before, and that's really why I don't. He's escalating. That's what the judge says. That's why I don't have a concern. He gets the message. What he may be saying, on his YouTube via phone through jail is one thing. Like, oh, is that just a show? He's not telling the truth. He's just Andrew Dice Claying his fucking audience. Like, this judge is a piece of shit. And then he goes and cries to his lawyers like a little wee baby. Oh, I don't want to be in jail. I don't have a pillow. Right? But when I'm talking to him, when he and I are like soul brothers, okay? And when Lee's talking to him, it's a whole other scenario. It's called a sociopathic disorder. He gets what the court is saying, and I point blank, Your Honor, without sharing what we've discussed, I told him what kind of judge you are. You're tough, but good judge. And he understands that. But again, you need to distinguish. He's saying stuff, people may get upset versus reality. She's like, I heard exactly what she said. And I know everything that he said and he's allowed to say. Kind of dumb. He's sitting there doing it in the jail calls. But, that's his decision because he has legal right to say it. I don't have a problem. I don't take it personal offense to that. Like the judge is like, oh, my fifis are not hurt. Okay. So then Lee Pearlman comes in and he says, I think he was frustrated with me for not knowing the difference between the two that day, as you recall. And I think that, his stance is, I understand the distinctions. I understand what he cannot do. And then the judge says, well, we're going to find out because I'm going to let him out. This letting him out of jail is literally a test. Listen to the judge's wording. We're going to find out. Wow, only 913. Oh.
That makes me a very sad panda.
That is a sad panda. But now listen to the judge very clearly, guys. But, Mr. Smith-Levin, I know the difference between your First Amendment right to freedom of speech. You can say all you want about me. It's not going to bother me. People have said a heck of a lot worse than you have. He says, I understand, ma'am. And you can say anything you want about the state, all right? Because you know what? There are prosecutors. They are prosecutors. And you have every right to say anything you want about anybody. Okay? You're just not allowed to yell fire in a building, all right? That will get you arrested. And you can protest all you want. But you are not to have any contact with the two alleged victims in these two cases, which means you cannot come within 500 feet of them, their cars, their houses, their place of employment. So while you are protesting, you are to stay 500 feet away from any building that they are employed in. And I know that came up before about the fact that they work at several different buildings. It is what it is. That's what their job is. That's what they do. You're to stay 500 feet from them. Then Miss Me wants to up it to 1,000 feet. She says, and they wanted a GPS. She says, we're not going to do that. We're not nickel and diming this. Okay. And she says, understand this, Mr. Smith-Levin, you're not dealing with a podunk organization. So have no doubt that they're going to pay attention to your 500 feet. And as you've already seen, they have apparently got video everywhere. He says, yes, ma'am. All right, so you need to understand that, okay? Because they've been in here armed with pretty clear video every time I've had a court hearing in here. So you need to be absolutely clear on that. Do you understand? I do, ma'am. Then she says, and I am in no way telling you that you can't say anything you want as long as it doesn't violate the law. As long as it doesn't violate the law, Aaron. And your attorneys will let you know what you can and cannot say. But one of them is you cannot yell fire in a crowded building. And I know why she's repeating that because that's in the Constitution. And you can protest all you want as long as you are not causing damage or you are not causing injury to anyone, and as long as you're following the law. But you have 2 criminal charges against you. And you have a no contact order, and you are to follow that no contact order. Am I making myself loud and clear to you? Totally understood, ma'am. So then, Miss Me tries to get the ankle monitor again. She says no. I have no doubt that Scientology is going to doing themselves, so they'll provide you whatever they need to provide you with. So why would we add an additional cost of a GPS monitor? Like, she knows Scientology is constantly watching everything. Okay. What I don't want is somebody injured on either side of this. All right. So this is America. You can make a buck all you want to make a buck as long as it's legal. Got it? So she says, thank you, not yes. So then she says, all right, so I'm going to grant the motion. I think I'm going to release on supervised ROR. We have a little bit more control of what's going on at that point. Do I have to reiterate the no contact again, or do you absolutely understand that? And understand this too, all right? You are in control of that program, whatever it is that you guys have on your social media. And I'm with Mr. Theophilopoulos. I don't have any social media in my life, and life is great, all right? Nobody else's issues bother me except for when they're in my courtroom. So this is the deal. Part of the no contact order is that you are not to personally have any contact with them. You are not to have any contact with them via social media. You are not to have any third parties reach out to them. So you can say anything you want to say about them. But if you tell somebody to have some type of contact with them, that is going to be in violation of that no contact order. Are you understanding the distinction between these two? Totally understood. Say all you want. Yep. But you get that video or whatever channel you've got there, YouTube, and you're sitting there telling people to go do things with them, you're in violation. I understand. You be very careful about what you say. You understand that? I do. All right. So then they arranged to have the pretrial start on March 3rd. It was filed. No. Oh, that's. See, and so he is under no contact order from Andrew. Yeah, I did. We can waive a speedy trial. They come up with a date, pre-trial, blah, 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 blah. And that's it. Okay? All right. So she's pretty clear in all these instructions what he can and cannot do. That he has his First Amendment rights. He cannot do these other things. Okay? So now, oh my God. Hang on, guys. I got to run and I drunk all my water. I got to go grab some more water. 1 second. I will be right back. I'm muted. I'm back. Okay. No, Chewini, that was not the transcript for today. Those don't become available. Well, first of all, I have to request them. And then it takes about 2 weeks turnaround, even with like the express, rush order to get them to be available. So yeah. Oh, I am definitely requesting the transcripts from today, and I will be requesting the transcripts from Tuesday, no matter what happens. Okay. Am I still muted? Oh my goodness. I hope I'm not still muted. Anyway, I was muted for a moment. Hopefully everything is fine. Can you guys hear me? No, I'm not still muted. Oh, you hear me. Okay. It's such a delay in the messages that I'm like, hello. Hello. Okay. Where are we? Where are we? Let's go back here. This is how Aaron's feeling about today. Just so happy. Just a happy, happy boy. Look at him. Just so happy. Hello? There I am. I'm like, why am I not on the screen? All right.
I mean, I'm only slightly putting words into her mouth because it is absolutely what she said.
So you guys understand now why she really had to bring it home to Aaron that you've got to follow the instructions, which is we're going to get back to the motion that happened. Okay.
Except she, instead of wording it in the positive way, she worded it in the negative way.
No,
like,
Sunrise.
Or depending on how well he follows my instructions will depend on how likely I am to approve this request. It was actually very, very funny.
It's hilarious.
And obviously there's no, the request had nothing to do with me trying to travel between now and frickin' Tuesday, which, by the way, the state attorney seemed to be a little concerned that might have been the case. Because it's Friday, right? And here it's a motion requesting permission to travel to California. The state attorney's like, I just want to be clear. He does not have permission to travel this weekend, right? And she's like, yeah. She's like, I don't think he's going anywhere this weekend.
Nobody knows what you're doing, Aaron.
Okay. What was the other thing? Yeah. My unhinged lunatic internet stalkers who desperately required inpatient mental health treatment and are definitely a danger to their children and their family.
Remember when I asked him and I told him that he needs to stop saying that? Just as a note, Aaron, that's actually against the law. What you're saying about me, that we have you on video on your channel hundreds of times saying that about me and my children, it's actually a violation of Florida state law and falls under the cyber stalking statute. And I am in the progress of putting together my case on that. So just for a note, I know he doesn't care. And I promise you that I will take out as many credit cards as I need. I will go into debt to get you served. And then, just like Sherrick liked to threaten, which I'm also going to put them on the case too, that they're going to come take my house. They're going to come take my house. I don't know about that. I know, Elron. I know. I just got a little sassy. But it is against the law to insinuate that across state lines or in the state of Florida, period. Anyway. All right, I'll shut my big mouth.
And all sorts of
I know. If I keep talking about it, then I'm just turning into him, tanking my own case. I get it.
Theories as to everything I was going to be confronted with and get in trouble for at this hearing. Guys, these lunatics on the internet are so aggressively wrong about everything. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Somehow the lunatics manage to not even be as right as a broken clock.
I don't know about that.
Forgive them. They know not what they do. Okay, so in other words, nothing interesting happened of a controversial.
Nothing interesting happened, guys. Now you're going to hear Aaron.
Nature this morning at the
I just want to get
conference.
to the one.
Okay, let's go over some of the things that the state was asking for.
So then he goes over the motion. He doesn't really read all of the things. I'm going to skip all of him doing that. Oh, wow. Are they still out there in the rain? Look at them. How proud, how brave, how strong with their umbrellas. We don't allow those things in Oregon. Oh, no, they're done. They ended 36 minutes ago. You know, because it's about getting people out of Scientology, guys. If we didn't protest in Portland when it rains, no one would protest. No one would protest. We would all be like, oh, it's rainy again? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. What was, fuck. Oh, that's what I was going to. Okay. I just want to go over here because there's a specific part in this video, but I'm just going to look at his video because for some reason, Rumble doesn't give you the transcript, which is really annoying. So where are we at in the Rumble? We are in 5 minutes in. Okay. So I have to go past 5 minutes because he says something very important. And he goes over the points and then he talks about what his lawyers said. And actually, I can do this. We're going to do. Okay. Yeah. Because the word Scientology appears in Aaron's video 39 times. 9 minutes and 20 seconds. I really want you guys to hear this out of Aaron Smith Levin's mouth. So let's go to 9 minutes. We'll just start here.
Of a misdemeanor battery. Did it occur?
We're going to put him at normal speed here because you got to hear. I want you to see how he looks dead in the camera.
Did it not occur? Is there a legal justifiable defense for what occurred? It's the Church of Scientology is not on trial. The fact that they're a family destroying human trafficking cult that covers up sex crimes against children. And
I'm sorry, Aaron, what'd you say?
Is there a legal justifiable defense for what occurred? It's the Church of Scientology is not on trial.
The Church of Scientology is not on trial. Why is that? Why are they not on trial? Well, I will tell you. So this petition that we went over at length yesterday, okay? No, I don't want to do that. I want to replace it. There we go. This petition, the motion in limine, okay, which means, you know, what it means. No, I'm just kidding. I have the definition up here because I don't remember. It's a Latin term meaning at the threshold, referring to a pretrial motion or request made to a judge to exclude specific evidence before the trial begins. All right. Every single one of these points was approved by the judge, except point number 8, which she's going to consider over the weekend and rule on, okay, on Tuesday. So that is any mention of alleged past wrongdoing by the Church of Scientology. And when these points are in reference to Aaron's lawyers, Aaron, and any other witnesses called, they cannot talk about it. Okay? So that's point 1. Point 2, any mention of specific history of this defendant with respect to the Church of Scientology. No, I grew up in a cult. No, I was human trafficked. No, I worked in those buildings as a child. Nada. Okay? No, it's only in the trial. Let's be specific. Aaron can say whatever he wants on his YouTube. That's America. It's freedom of speech. Except for when you slander people. Okay? But you can't, he can't do this in the courtroom during the trial at all. Okay? Any reference to the defendant or any defense witnesses as victims of the Church of Scientology. Right? Like Cheryl's whole thing of like, my dad disconnected and, blah, 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 blah. Nope. Irrelevant. Okay. Any argument pertaining to jury nullification or that the crime is not that severe. Nope. Any mention of potential consequences as a result of a guilty conviction. So the defense can't be like, well, it's only $1,000 fine, so I don't know why you guys are like, why we have to have like a whole jury, Nope. Yeah, it was super sus, Bo, and thank you for the super chat. Any mention that the defendant has already served time in jail on this charge. So in this video later, he's like, I asked my lawyers, like, I'm just totally going to be like, it's just going to be like time served, right? And my lawyer's like, of course. This is your first time. Of course. Uh-huh. Okay. Any legal opinion from any defense witnesses as to whether a battery occurred or not. Okay. And then Aaron makes a whole joke about this, and it's the whole thing. Okay. They don't get to say that. They get to say, I saw, blah, 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 blah. That's it. Okay. I'll come back to number 8 in a second. The last point, though, any mention by the defense that the Church of Scientology throwing water on the chalk art was criminal mischief. Then Aaron's like, my lawyers are like, we weren't going to say that. Okay. Like we know that. That's dumb. And Aaron's like, it's so funny. They think my lawyers are dumb, And then the state's attorney had to clarify, like, Your Honor, the reason why I put that point in there is because the defendant during that video and several others stated emphatically that them pouring water on the chalk art is criminal mischief. And she's like, oh, okay. Yeah, you got it. Now, the one she's hanging on to, any mention of the officer writing the incident up as a double battery. This is the one she's pondering. Now, Aaron really went off on this one. Okay. The state moves to exclude any testimony from the defendant, everybody on his team, okay, that the investigating officer on scene mentioned to the defendant that he would be writing up the incident as a double battery. Such testimony is hearsay and inadmissible. Now, she hasn't decided on this yet. And she, according to Aaron, was like, I don't like when everybody puts cops on the stand and say, no. I don't think she said any of that. I'll have to see in the transcripts because I don't believe them. That's why. Okay. I don't believe them. But that's very interesting because you can clearly see on the video 2 major things. And Aaron, again, in his absolute cock with a walkness, okay, thinks that this is the hinge. The cop totally told me that he's writing it up as a mutual battery. Let's go to the tape. Please hold. Let me get this up here. Okay. So we're going to fast forward here a little bit. We're at the... Why is it showing it there? Let's refresh it. Okay. And it's not playing. Let me unshare and reshare. Stop. Come back. There we go. Okay. So this is the incident.
Some more, buddy? Come on.
They want to come back for more. They can come back for more. Oh, we got two cruisers. Hey, Cheryl.
Now, this is very interesting.
If they arrest me for any reason, just take my phone from
Okay.
Jamie.
All right.
Never let it go.
Will do, sir.
Yeah.
It's like he knew he did something wrong. It's like he knew he did something wrong. So weird. Let's listen carefully. Here's the officer arriving who thinks this is a load of bullshit and a waste of his time as he's coming on. The other officer goes up to go inside to get their statement. Okay? So we're tag teaming this with the officers.
Hey.
What happened? Somebody, a battery was alleged. Wait, speak, hold on, what?
As he says, a battery was alleged. Jamie, because he's been instructed by Aaron to get, they're coming out.
They're coming out.
I'll show you exactly what happened the next time they come out.
Look at Aaron running to the bag.
Come here, buddies. Come out and play.
This is in front of the police.
Hey. Come out and play. We're having a chalk run out here.
What the fuck is that, Aaron? You what? We're having a chalk run.
Less than 10 minutes ago.
Oh, they're coming out. Jamie is very emphatic to tell Aaron. So Aaron turns.
Here, you want to see? I'll show you exactly in real time what happened. Because I'll do it again.
And
right in
he's
front
on
of
the property. Right in front of the cop.
Police.
Because he thinks that this now new line from his incident is the property line. Homie, the property line is here in line. He's already on the property.
Come on out, buddy. Hey, come on out. Come on out and play. Okay, up until now, when they come out and they throw their water on us.
So he's watching Aaron's video, and Aaron's like, I'm going to tell you what's what.
Up until today, they have only ever walked up to their property line and dumped the water towards it.
Who is it, guys? Toby, come here. We okay. Thank you. Hang on. The dogs are going crazy. Let me look at my cameras here. See if somebody's here. Guys, nobody's here. Nope, nobody's here. Nobody's here, guys. We're okay. We okay. Yeah. They're just hearing stuff. They're dogs.
And we're like, okay. So we brought out the water barriers to see if they would actually come onto public property, step over our barriers, and dump water on us. And that's what they did.
What did he say?
They have only ever walked up to their property line and dumped the water towards us.
Oh, dump the water towards you. Correct. And then
we're like, okay. So we brought out the water barriers to see if they would actually come onto public property, step over our barriers, and dump water on us. And that's what
he does, the same exact motion again. Except for it's still towards the ground. Nobody dumped it on you.
What they did. So
then the officer's like, is that why you're all wet? Because if they did come out and just throw fucking buckets of water on you like that, it got all your shit wet, and we're like publicly waterboarding you. Yeah, that's a battery.
No, I'm wet because I sweat a lot.
I just sweat a lot. This is sweat.
I don't know why it's legal for them to come onto public property and pour water on what we're doing on public property.
That's the statute right there in the corner. Why it's legal.
I'm not going to file a report because that feels like a pussy thing to do.
Does it?
But that's why we're running this experiment, to see if they would do it.
Yeah, we're just out here doing an experiment. It's science. This is science.
Let's get ready to party, baby.
So now he's watching the video with the cop.
Okay, here we go.
Come on, bring it.
She was actually trying to get away.
So I'm already going to say this is not going to be a good look because I already saw the 5 seconds of you throwing the chalk powder on him.
He's laughing because, like, how fucking dumb are you, bro?
Yeah, but I don't touch him. Yeah, I mean, that's just chalk in the air.
I know, but
yeah.
So if they threw water on you, is that a crime?
Notice the question. If they threw water on you, is that a crime? Not if they pour water on the sidewalk that goes in the direction that you are standing.
Apparently, you guys don't think it is because they've been doing it for weeks now.
Well, that's why I asked you, are you wet from water? Because if you're wet from water, that's a battery.
See? So if you're wet from water that they poured onto you, then that's a battery. See, like, look how it's all the sweat is from the top of his knees up. So if they took the bucket in your face, then yes, that's a battery. Pouring water onto a public sidewalk and partially their own property, not a crime.
Like,
I mean, it's well, I mean, it's a combination of things.
It's a combination of things. No, Aaron, it's not. It's really not.
But this is airborne chalk. If you
It's only airborne when you throw it. See how it's not airborne in the bag that you're holding? It's not airborne. It's sealed in a bag.
you're saying both is a problem, then I agree. I could totally acknowledge that. But no one's making them stop with the water.
No one's making them stop clean up the word cult in front of their alleged church. I don't like that. I don't like that they can clean up what I'm drawing. That seems unfair.
Yeah, no, the other officer's going to go in there and be like, hey, like, you can't throw water on these people.
Okay, that's
Okay, you can't throw water on these people. The cop tells no lies here. The cop tells no lies.
fair. I mean,
Regardless of what your position is,
Yeah.
both sides. I don't
Okay,
agree
I mean,
with
that's fair.
I'm not supporting anybody.
Yeah.
They can't throw water on you. Now, if they want to throw water on the sidewalk, that's fine. But if they
I'm sorry. If they want to throw water on the sidewalk, that's fine. Okay. But
hit you, that's their problem. If they do it on you.
but they didn't throw it on them. They threw it on the sidewalk.
So you were correct to assume people can't throw water on you.
Yeah, people can't throw water on you.
Okay.
But you also can't throw chalk on people.
I understand.
And you also can't throw chalk.
Even though it's weightless and it does almost nothing,
I understand.
It's still a battery.
So, like, I won't argue. I under what you're saying. The common senseness of what you're saying is to me common sense.
Yeah, the common senseness of what you're saying to me is common sense.
Anyway, since you're here,
So now they're pressing charges, bitch.
Oh, you're the same guy who arrested Erica.
You're that guy.
He was there. Well,
I was there. I didn't arrest her.
Okay. Yeah. So then I'm going to press charges on the water since you said that both of them is a problem. So I'd like to press charges on the water.
Did he? Does anyone have record of a police report of Aaron Smith Levin pressing charges on all this water that was thrown on them? Anyone? Anyone?
Yeah. And I'm gonna.
Yeah.
So essentially, like what we were talking about is I'm gonna write a report about it. That's what
So who's referring my complaint about the water to the state?
no, it's gonna be in the same report.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the part that the judge has to consider.
Essentially, I'm gonna write it up like a mutual thing.
I got it. Okay.
So, now here's the thing that we have to consider. He does say right there, I'm going to write it up as a mutual thing. That is before he's talked to his cohort who went inside to talk to the Scientologists, because all Aaron has said repeatedly is they are throwing water on us. They're throwing it on us. They're throwing it on us. Then when he talks to his partner there, he's going to find out that he saw video showing clearly they didn't throw anything on these guys. They threw it on the ground. Aaron is the only person who threw something on to someone else. And it doesn't matter. Even if John Gaffney hadn't been hauled away in an ambulance, okay? The fact that he has blue all over his shirt is proof that Aaron threw things onto him. This is a closed case. This is not debatable. Okay? If it was just chalk in the air, he wouldn't have a big fucking stain on his shirt from the chalk hitting him. Okay? So this whole debate here where they're trying to, they don't want Aaron to be able to say that the cop, or they want to bring the cop onto the stand to say that it was a mutual thing. Because their argument is that it was mutual combat. I feel like, have Aaron's lawyers not seen this video or the other prior videos of none of them throwing water onto any protester? I don't care that you're not on social media, okay, Jerry and Lee and the judge. The fact is that Aaron is doing these things in real life, and he is recording them, and he is profiting off these actions. He's literally profiting off of battering Scientologists. I hit my fingernail really hard. Okay. Oh, I'm sure he does. Hi, everybody. Hi, Aaron. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Eric. Hi, Jenna. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Marilyn's husband, who I apologize, I don't know your name. Hi, George Massey. Hi, everybody. I hope you guys are enjoying my luxurious locks in 4K. Okay. So then what does Aaron say immediately following this?
Okay, works for me.
So it'll both be in there.
Hey, even Steven, I'll take it. A complaint against me, a complaint against the Sea Org member. It's being written up as a mutual battery. Him battering me with water and me battering him with chalk and me battering him with chalk. And then it gets...
Sorry, Aaron, you admitted it on your own video that you battered him with chalk. You're willing for that to be in a police report. As long as John Gaffney was also bad, he battered me with water, guys. My Tootsies are soaked. My Tootsies are soaked. Yeah, this video is the entire case. I mean, you could throw in a bunch of other shit, right? Because it shows continued escalated behavior, which the judge gave specific instructions about, especially the videos from December 5th until now. Yeah. Marilyn's not going to see through this. She's fucking part of it. She thinks this is all fine. She thinks this is all good. Like, it's insane that he thinks, it is literally insane to me, guys, that he thinks that this is not, like a crime that he did. And he admits it. Oh, thank you, Kim. Marilyn knows. Guys, here's the deal. Let's talk about a couple things. Let's get real for like just a minute here, okay? Marilyn is part of this, okay? Let's not forget. Oh, I have two of them up. I don't know why I have two of them up. Oh, actually, let me go here. Let's not forget what we looked at yesterday, okay? Where we went to the video that Aaron made when he got out and then he broke up with Jenna and it was so bad. You know. Let's replay Marilyn from January of this year. What did she say? Because Marilyn, I hope you are watching right now, hon.
Community. So we want to see you guys. I can't do this anymore. Unfortunately, what that means to her changes with the wind constantly. And I just had to, I mean, you know what I told you today. I was like, if you guys get back together, I'm sorry. I love you both, but I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Oh, you can't do it anymore, Marilyn? That's so weird because isn't this literally you in the rain with your husband in Florida right now protesting? Is this not you? Let me go here. This is all messed up. Here we go. Here's Marilyn. Let's go because they got to show all the people.
Turning on the do not. Okay, what am I forgetting?
He looks super excited to be out there. There he is. We're going to all set it up. You're part of it. Poor Marilyn, though. She thought she was going to sunny Florida. I don't know that lady's name. There's some people. There's Xenu. Doot. That's George Massey. Somebody's...
I love it.
I don't know who's doing that. Is that Jenna? Oh, here
All
comes
right.
the Papa John's.
Go to the left. Go to the left. Or no, you can go straight. That's fine. We'll go right to
Oh,
the
right
table
there
here.
in the blue coat. Did you see her? That was Marilyn's husband.
Oh yeah. Abigail sends the pizza and the donuts, and Christy sends the taco. Oh, that was very smart.
Yeah, just use one of your signs.
I guess if I hold there.
There's George Massey,
Oh my God.
celebrity. Do you hear Marilyn?
That's
There
for
she
you.
is. There's Marilyn. And there's her husband enjoying some pizza. Marilyn, aren't you so glad that you left your house to like go stand out and protest? Yes, they did this. It was a whole 90 minutes, guys, for Aaron in the rain. 90 whole minutes. Like, yeah. So she's definitely part of it. There's her husband. George Massey's there. Okay. So Marilyn knows she has no integrity. She's still part of it. She didn't say, are you fucking kidding me right now? After everything we've been through. Okay, I'm out. I'm deleting my fucking channel. I'm out. Deuces. Do you block? Because that's what I would have done. If I tell somebody, listen, I'm going to tell you this one more time. I'm going to tell you this one more time. If you don't do this, I'm out. Okay. 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago? 2024, before Aaron and I were, I left the cult of Aaron. He was in our group chat. And he was going on and on and on about Lindsay, about how dangerous she is. And she's threatened his wife and his children. And she's just crazy. She's crazy. She's crazy. She's going to come. Blah, 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 blah. She knows where I live. Blah, 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 blah. I said, Aaron, I'm going to tell you this one last time. Unless you go to the police and you file for a fucking restraining order on her, I don't want to hear another fucking thing about it. Lindsay's here. Lindsay, did he ever file a restraining order on you? Nope. Nope. Because it doesn't really matter. It's all a ruse. It was just so all of us wouldn't talk to Lindsay. It's so all of us wouldn't believe anything she had to say. It was so she was completely discredited, which is the same campaign that he's doing on me. Except for now, because he's going to be on a documentary and he might even have a reality show highlighting him and Jenna's just the romance of the century, guys. I cannot even tell you. Wow. I mean, I can envision the intro to this right now. Let's go down to sunny Clearwater, Florida, where we're going to be interviewing escapees from Scientology and find out how they have found love after leaving Scientology. First, we go to Aaron Smith Levin, who left the church with his wife, and they have 3 beautiful daughters. And he hasn't left his wife yet, but he did find love with his paramour. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the niece of David Miscavige, Jenna. What the fuck? What the fuck? Just, oh yeah, that's going to sell. I mean, listen, we have had some divisive characters in reality television over the last, 10 years. Okay. I think if that's a fact, Aaron Smith Levin will be the literal worst. Okay. For those of you who watch Love is Blind, you remember Shake from fucking season 2. The worst. What an asshole. Now we've got Chris in the new season. Oh my God. Are you joking me? There is no, and then the other thing is, of course. So now Aaron's attacking me, but only behind his paywall, guys. If you want to see the proof, and he has proof, he's got proof. Guys, he's claiming today that he has a video that proves that I am a paid Scientology operative. Okay, I can't wait. I would love to see the video that proves this. Is it the one where I jokingly said it and then he's like, put it on a loop? Okay. I'll just show the whole video, Aaron. Anyway. Why am I unbothered by that statement? And I am. It's just so stupid. He wants me to be upset. He says these things, okay? Because number one, as you guys know, you've been here with me for a few years. I have documented my journey to mental health very exclusively. I have been very vulnerable about that. I have shared probably way too much, and that's fine because it happened, okay? I can't take any of that back. The internet's forever. And Aaron, all of you know, I have a history of suicidal ideation. That's just a fact. Okay. Do I talk about that every day to get clicks and sympathy and super chats? No, I fucking don't. I don't, because it's inappropriate. And it's a very tough subject. Okay. And there's not really a way to like jazz that up and make that fun, like Jesus Christ. Okay. But he wants to push me via the words he's saying, insinuating, and all this other stuff. And now he's got Cheryl and Eric doing it. And then he had Marilyn do like the saddest attempt at it. Like she was like, oh, Nora is just like bad. She's just so dumb. And then like somebody will put something really nasty in her chat. Exactly. That's what I was saying. Yes. Like, bitch, that's not what you said. You're so fucking scared. You're so scared of somebody you've never met in real life. Me. Somebody who has never done anything to you except, like, I supported you for a long time, Marilyn. I made more than one video sticking up for you when you were getting shit all over. That only made my life worse, by the way. I could have kept my mouth shut about you. And I could have avoided maybe 50 Zero Dark Tony videos, okay? But I didn't, because I was like, hey, this lady went through a lot of trauma, and I don't like to see people shit on trauma victims and use their trauma to re-traumatize them. So I fucking stuck up for you. And then you got it twisted one day and texted me a bunch of nonsense and then told me to go fuck myself, even while I was live saying, Marilyn, that's not what's happening. And then, Aaron sucked you into his cult, and you still, Marilyn, you have seen the video of him throwing Juliana into the wall. You have heard Jenna one-on-one tell you the physical and verbal abuse that he has inflicted upon her. And you're still like, okay, I'm going to fly to Florida. I'm going to go and support this guy so that he doesn't go to jail. What the fuck? You even told Jenna that you wouldn't let your own daughter date Aaron. And who was yelling at you when you said these things, Marilyn? Was it Aaron? Because it wasn't me. We haven't been talking for over a year. It's just wild. It is what? No, Leah's going to have nothing to do with this. I can tell you that right now. She fucking washed her hands of Aaron a few years ago. She ain't going to fucking touch him with a 100-foot pole. He's not worth her time. Okay. He literally has destroyed every relationship that he has been a part of from the time that he started his YouTube. The very first victim was Nick Lister, who he started the YouTube channel with. Okay. And then when he finally, the show happened and he got bigger, then it became Mike Rinder was the second victim of his, and Mark and Claire, subsequently the rest of the board that, summarily kicked him off the board. Okay. Then the entire board that he picked, one by one, left the board, and he block. Okay. He has Jenna, Natalie, ? I don't know. And Clearwater George. Where the fuck is Clearwater George? AKA surrounded by Scientology, right? And when you look up the SPTV Foundation, okay, when you just Google it, like I just did, this is what comes up. This is the AI summary, okay? Is a Clearwater-based 501c3 nonprofit established in 2024 to support individuals leaving the Scientology organization. I love that it doesn't call it a religion in Google. Good job, Google. It provides resources for transitioning into mainstream society, including financial grants for living expenses, housing assistance, and aid for returning to their home country. To assist, support, empower people leaving the cult, provides grants for qualified programs. The foundation is rooted in empathy, guys, with many members having firsthand experience with the challenges of leaving the group. That's in the Google. I can't do anything about that. I'll have to black that out later. The foundation is part of a broader SPTV movement on social media focused on sharing experiences of ex-Scientologists. Like, what? And then this is the guide star that gives you all the like legals. But look, the foundation itself doesn't even come up. Okay. It's not even the first. Where are we? We keep going. We're going to keep scrolling. Mike Rinder comes up first. We'll go to page 2. Is there announcements? Where's the actual? Is there a website? Oh, there it is. But when you Google it, the website doesn't even fucking come up. Okay? Who are we? Look, he's still got Natalie's picture. There's Jenna. He still has Mike Brown up there. He still has Reese up there. I don't know who that's supposed to be. Is that supposed to be Stuart? Is that Stuart? Learn more. Here's our team. Oh, there's no people. Where's all the people? Where's all the people? Where are the peoples? There's no peoples. Yeah, it's total bullshit, guys. It's like, what the fuck? Where's your foundation? You need at least 3 board members. So are Sherrick, do they count as one person or are they 2 people? That's the question. That's the question. He used to have a lot of buddies in Clearwater, Gilead chick. A lot of them are gone now. What happened to all those people that were part of the biggest protests on planet Earth? Yeah. He's so miscavige when he does that. Do you think when Aaron and Jenna get married that he's going to take her last name and then he'll just become Aaron Miscavige? Is that the whole goal? For him to become a Miscavige? I mean, that would be something. That would be something. Yeah. Here's the interesting thing of note, guys. The trial is still on. For anybody who got confused because Aaron put in his clickbait title, "I'm free, no jail." Like, what a fucking idiot. I sent over that in limine motion to a friend of mine who is a legal eagle. And I asked them, even though this motion prohibits the defense from talking about these Scientological things, is it still possible for the prosecution to bring forth enough evidence documenting Aaron's, as the judge put it, escalating behavior that could then potentially put the hate crime statute back on the table, and that would elevate this to a felony? Is that a possibility? It's not that it's for certain, but is that possible? I did just laugh at that gif, Joe. Stop sending funny things in the mod chat. The answer is yes. The answer is an emphatic yes. Now, does that mean that they will? I don't know. I tend to believe that what I got from that motion is that they are going for the whole Haza Gaza. Okay. They are going for the whole thing. Now, as far as Jenna goes, I want to say this. My personal opinion, which she hates and does not ask for, is that she is a victim of Aaron specifically. Okay. And as I've reiterated many times, it takes on average 7 times for any domestic violence victim to permanently leave their abuser. Okay. So this is only time number 2. I hope, my true hope is that even if it's just for show right now, even if it's just to like make him look more sympathetic to the jury and the fucking thank you, Mary. Why does he keep saying these things about his trial when he knows Nora's always going to come back with the receipts? It boggles my mind. Yeah, I don't know. But according to Eric, nobody watches me, guys. Just 560 of you guys here now. For 2.5 hours. Nobody's watching. You guys are all bots. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, polygamy is not legal in Florida. No. It's not. Okay. Even if he's just doing this for a show and to get the judge, and try and put on this happy face and be the person that he should be, okay, I really hope that behind the scenes, everything that Jenna went through for the last 2 years is not happening again. Okay, I really hope that, because that's awful. I don't wish that kind of stuff on anybody. Now, that being said, is Jenna complicit in Aaron's continuing abuse of Scientologists? Absolutely. Is that a way to protest? Is that a way to be the president of a foundation that's claiming, hey, Scientologists, I was like you. You guys can come to me and I will help you. There's no other organization on planet Earth that has survivors or victims as a part of it that then goes to the place that victimized or traumatized them and acts the way that Aaron does. There are 0 of them, and there are tons of charities out there for survivors of different types of trauma. Okay? As an example, what if all of the young boys who had been essayed by their priests, okay, started a protest at various Catholic churches and started, drawing horrific pictures of Jesus taking it up the rear and writing pedo complex all over the place and all kinds of stuff, just whatever you can imagine. And then one of the protesters who goes out in front of his church every day to protest the priest that was there when he was a kid but isn't there anymore, has probably got transferred to another country, and he goes up to the current priest and he throws a bag of chalk on him. Would everybody be okay with that? Well, Your Honor, when I was a child, the priest that's not here, I mean, not the guy I threw the chalk on, but the priest that was my priest, he molested me. I'm very passionate about it. It's still a battery. And it would still have, it would still be a battery. Right? So you can't do that. The fact that bad things happen to you that are illegal and should have been prosecuted and you should have been safe as a child does not give you the legal right to harm anyone else. Even later finding your abuser and tracking them down and hurting them, still not legal. Still not legal. Okay? So This is the part that Aaron had to say out loud today. He had to say it out loud today that Scientology is not on trial. Scientology is not on trial, which is what I've been saying since July. But I'm glad he finally said those words out of his mouth. It was really hard for him to say it. But this is the problem. The problem with Aaron isn't just that he's continually abusive, that his abuse has escalated in public, that his abuse is being recorded by himself and posted to his channel and monetized for his own benefit, okay, is that everyone around him is part of it. Here I am on my island in Beaverton, Chicken Little, saying this man is abusive. He's told us he's abusive. He keeps abusing people. The abuse is getting worse. And they're like, oh, Nora, you're fat. What? What does that have to do with Aaron Smith Levin doing abuse? Oh, Nora, you're fat. What? What? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, you're an OSA op. How? I would love to know. I would love to know how. Is the video going to be because 86 GOP is gifting memberships? Guys, I don't know who 86 GOP is. I don't, to be honest. Hello, everyone. Hi. Put a 1 in the chat if I have met you in real life and I've seen your face, not your avatar. I have, or I have had a video call with you so that you have seen me. I mean, you see me all the time, but put a 1 in the chat if we have met in real life or gazed upon each other's visage via the internets or a phone call. Can we watch a Dodgers video? Are you a crazy person, Lemon Curd? Are you trying to start something on the channel? Yeah, it's going to be a lot of zeros because unfortunately, I haven't gotten to meet all you guys. Okay. I haven't. Stacy is a yes, right? I mean, yes, because I have video calls with my mods all the time. Yes, one day I think so. And I hugged you. And I did see Stacy in real life. She came to the Father's Day protest, right? So it's like, okay. And that's not because I don't want to meet all of you guys. That would be fun, have like a little, convention or something and everybody get there and we all talk and hang out. But it's like this immediate parasocial relationship. Is that going to be the big link? Aaron, you went to dinner with him 3 times and he was your largest supporter. And when, you were bragging about how much money you were getting from 86 GOP, I was like, well, if he's so rich, can he help everybody? Because I am the poor. And he was like, no, I'm not going to. Nora, you're a peasant. I'm not going to introduce you to my friend. Disgusting. Yeah, 86 GOP was his friend. There's an entire montage where he's like, hey, it's 86 GOP in the house. All right. That's going to be the big evidence. That's the breakthrough. Okay, Aaron. Have you watched your own montage of you just fucking drooling over the super chats from 86 GOP? Have you missed that? Yeah. They went to multiple dinners together. Yeah, that'll be the big proof. We're all waiting for it. We're all going to pay $100 there. Aaron's just going to keep upping his membership tier, in hopes that I am unwilling to pay that to also, that's not illegal. It's not illegal for me to be a member of your channel if I am. It's not illegal. And just because you hide all your shit behind a paywall doesn't mean I won't get it for all the evidence, Aaron. So keep yapping. Because I'm over here reading transcripts of your trial, adding a little humor, doing a Stuart. Look what I can do. Okay. And that's also not illegal. Oh, Dodge is live. Hi, Dodge. Yeah, Dodge. I don't know. I think he's still going on Tuesday. Can we watch Dodge together? Okay, let's pull up Dodge. Dodge Landesman. Dodge. There he is. T, you didn't have to super chat me to ask that, by the way, but thank you. Live. He's not live right now. Why am I not seeing it? What channel is he on? Oh, I'm on the wrong one. What's the other channel? This is a different one, isn't it? No, this is his channel. Oh, no. It was just a video. It's not a live, but
Well, here in strange but beautiful Fair Park in Dallas, Texas, I'm covering many candidates for the Texas primary, but I want to stop for a moment and give you the latest update on everything that's been happening with the court case with Aaron Smith.
I'm going to just play that first part. I'm going to put a link for this in the chat so you guys can go over and take a look at that when we're done here. We're wrapping up. Guys, there's only one more day left to order your Mod Mafia merch. At theragingbuddha.com. Let's bring that puppy up here. Boop. That's right. We've got tank tops. I know it's hot down under. Go get that tank top. We've got hats. We've got socks. People who've got the socks have told me they're very cozy. They're very cozy. We've got beanies. We've got a zip hoodie. We've got other regular hoodies. We've got a V-neck. And with so many t-shirts. All right. We've got a patch. If you like patches, there's a patch. We've got stickers and, of course, mugs. All kinds of mugs. Get the mugs. And that's me right now. So go to theragingbuddha.com. All right. And tomorrow's the last day to get that. No, nobody was at home. So do that. All proceeds are going to the mods. Okay. Very important. Go get that. Oh, you got some socks, Susan. Wonderful. Gilead Chick says the zip hoodie is great. Sharon loves the socks. You got your mod merch. Awesome. Okay, guys. I'm so happy you love your hoodie and your shirt. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yeah. All right, guys. Listen. It's going to be a weekend. I'm thinking about how do you get a membership? Oh, hang on. You go down and you punch the little, what do you call it? The $sign. And then you can do that. Oh my God, my chat has to catch up. Boop, boop, boop. I'm going to gift the last 5 memberships that I can gift today. Membership gifting. There we go. Gifting some memberships. Let's see who gets them. There we go. Boom. Who's gonna get the gifts? I don't know. I don't know who's gonna get it, but I just gifted the last 5. I have 10 every month to give away. Somebody will get them. I don't know. You ordered a coffee cup in the tank top. All right. Fantastic. And Tori, that's right. Tori and Reese, and I think Laura is even going to be there live tonight. Let's put that out here. Let's go to Relatable Reese. Reese is in Los Angeles. And she is going to be protesting for the very first time around Big Blue tonight, along with Tori and Laura, who's going to be there. This is Relatable Reese's channel. And make sure you guys tune in. I believe it's going to be around 6 p.m.-ish, between 6 and 7 Pacific Standard Time. They're going to be out there. If I find out it's earlier, I will send I'll put a post up. I am thinking, and you guys tell me right now, I'm thinking about doing a members only live tomorrow. If you guys are interested, Erin's doing one maybe tonight or tomorrow to talk about me. He's really obsessed with my body, guys. It's a little, Erin, you have a wife and a paramour. Isn't that enough boobies for you? Very greedy. Very greedy. So you guys should tune in for that for sure. Get on over and see. And Reese has actually never been to, thank you, Quirkopolis, for becoming a member, to the Blue Buildings before, because, she did all of her Scientology either in Florida or out there in, the Midwest where she was doing stuff. I can't remember which org it was. St. Louis, maybe. One of those ones. Anyway, there you go. So she's going to be there for the first time. And I'm glad that, Tori and Laura are going to be there to give her a tour and, she's not going by herself. So, oh, yes. Joe says, thank you to everyone who's purchased something from the Mod Mafia merch. We appreciate it. And also to everyone who's in the chat overall. Hearts from Joe. Or as my kids do it, they do this. And this is very painful. I don't know why we're doing this when we can just do this. I don't know. The Aussie Zoom. Yeah, maybe we'll do it later in the day. Maybe we'll do that. Oh, Aaron's definitely going to watch. I'm sure he's bought a membership. Kansas City. Thank you. That's what it was. Kansas City. I couldn't remember. Okay, guys. Once again, thank you to all the generous super chats, the donated memberships. I'm totally blown away by that. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in. Thank you to the replay crew. Please hit that like, subscribe, all of the things. And as always, thank you to all the members. I will set up that members only live tomorrow. And to my Mod Mafia, my lady mods who keep this whole stream going. Thank you so much. And if you guys are so inclined, I can't do it. Okay, there it is. The QR code. Boop. If you click that, that takes you to my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. If you want to support me in that way, you can. You don't have to. It's not a cult. But I really appreciate all you guys. Please have a great rest of your Friday. And as always, I will see you all on the flippity dippity.
Lincoln 30 to dispatch. Yeah, that's a wild goose chase over here at Nakatomi Plaza. Everything here's okay. Over. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Welcome to the party, pal.
I'm not ready.